So how do you see the role of the board of directors when it comes to due diligence in the value chain?
First of all, if you look to the first role, is defining the materiality of the risks in the supply chain, in the total value chain. Once it has been established, it is all about making sure that management is paying the right attention. Still at the beginning, the board needs to decide whether you want to be at the forefront or simply following the legislation. If you want to be at the forefront, it means that you want to be very much more proactive and even go beyond the law in terms of your actions. If you say, okay, well, we want to stay behind, then you say, okay, well, listen, we only implement what is needed legally. And already there is quite a challenge for the board to be sure that all steps are being taken in defining the materiality issues and then making sure that the systems are in place, data is in place, and of course, that the management is motivated in terms of making sure that sustainability is not just measured, but integrated in the business strategy and integrated in the business decisions. If you make a new investment, sustainability has to play a role and saying, okay, well, is this the best technology in line of sustainability, yes or no, or what are the issues? So I think, yes, the board needs to be involved quite heavily, but even more important, making sure that the management that is in place is taking sure that sustainability is at the top of the agenda.
What opportunities do you see in the upcoming European legislation on due diligence in the value chain?
I think it's a given and therefore there are opportunities. It's a level playing field, to some extent at least, and it's a grammar for a new language we all need to learn. It's a toolbox full of information, and that information is the basis for conversations within the board, within management, in order to take the right operational and strategic decisions for the company and its ecosystem.
What are the main challenges for companies regarding the value chain today?
Okay, yeah, thank you. So I think there are three main challenges, which can also be opportunities, I think. So the first challenge is that sustainability in supply chain has evolved from just being an ethical or moral expectation from stakeholders to becoming more and more a legal obligation for companies. And naturally, companies, I think, are at the moment very concerned or confused about what they should be doing about it. And so what we see at the moment is there are a lot of technology providers rising that can help company or that can help companies in assessing these risks in their supply chain. And I think that can be a great start. But I think companies also have to understand that they have to do the hard work in really tracing their supply chains and going deeper into their supply chains. And that brings me to the third challenge, which I think is also an opportunity, is that companies should not just see that as another compliance exercise or duty, but also a chance to really get to know their supply chain deeper. And a lot of investors and consumers also value companies that have traceable supply chains. So they might actually be able to use that for their marketing and their own competitive advantage.